What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Ace Attorney team. Okay, this one is for Patreon. If you want your Patreon theme team done, you can check it out in the description of the video. Alright, this one is for Neat. Thank you so much for being a Patreon for so long. This video is for you. Now, I've got another double battle special, guys, so it's going to be pretty awesome. Leave those theme team suggestions, as per usual, down in the comment section. If you enjoy these videos, guys, give that like button some love. Alright, so these battles are all done on my Pimp chat as usual. That's in the description if you want to come and battle me and hang out and trade with everyone else there. Okay, so this one's against Secret Frog on my chat. As I said, I've got 2 battles in this video as well. Alright, let's smash right into it. We have a Glalie lead with a switcheroo lead, actually. So it's going to swap items with me and give me a choice specs, and I'm going to give him my Toxic Orb. Now, this was actually a Facade Toxic Orb set, so I'm locked into the Revenge. That was the only as my super effective attack on the Glalie. So I've got choice specs, so I'm locked into that. So it's not really it's not a perfect situation, but it's doable. I do have a super effective attack. Okay, so going for Revenge again. That's going to take the Glalie out. I guess it wasn't a bad start. I took out the Glalie, but I did get, I'm not really hitting super duper hard with Facade. It's got the adaptability ability as well. So on that side, I have Revenge, I have Facade as my main 2 moves there. And that's basically the main 2 moves I got. I got Crunch on this one too, but most of the time I'm using Facade there. Alright, so I'm going to Revenge the Sudowoodo there. It's going to have a weakness policy, which is not good at all, because it's got a rock polish up and it's got a weakness policy. It's very powerful. So that's going to take me out with a low kick there. So Gumshoe is off the case. Alright, so we're bringing in Dartrix here. This is a Choice Scar set. I didn't think that I'd be able to outspeed it. I just wanted to see, I was kind of hoping for a Stone Edge miss, and it's going to land there, unfortunately, and take me out with a crit, and we all know that crit definitely mattered. So I'm off to a bit of a shaky start here. I need to get back into this game. Okay, so bringing my Servine here. Now, I think you guys might remember this one. When I got absolutely salty from a Furret. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to put that in the description at the top there. Actually, this was the same team I was using at that point, so you should definitely check that one out. I'll leave that in the top of the description there. Furret cost me, it made me very salty. It cost me a sweep nearly. Well, it did. Anyway, so I'm going to get boomed on by the Sudowoodo there. We're going to clear the courtroom. I'm swapping in my Cincino here, which is a special set. I've got Life Orb on this with the Technician. I've got Swift there as my main step. I've got Shockwave there, which is nice on that. And I've got Hidden Power Ground with the Carmine boosting my special attack there. Okay, so we've got a Whirlpool Lumineon here. Good to see that Pokemon being used. I like Lumineon. Now, it's going to have... I'm guessing it's got with Whirlpool, it's going to have some sort of status move like Toxic, or because the Whirlpool is really only good for trapping there. Okay, so Shockwave does a lot of damage there. It is fairly bulky in its stats, and I probably needed like another Carmine up to do to one-shot that thing. Okay, so I've got the it's got the Whirlpool and the Toxic going there. I wasn't sure whether it was going to swap out here, whether I should risk going for another Carmine or just going for Shockwave and hurting anything that came in on me there. So obviously I couldn't swap out or anything because I'm trapped in by Whirlpool. Now, so going for another Shockwave here, I thought, bugger it, let's just do it. Let's try and get some damage on that, if it stays in or not, which it is, and that's Lumineon down there. So the score has evened up a bit after that Sudowoodo at the start, which just decimated my team. Okay, so here I'm thinking, well, I can probably get one more attack off, and then I'm basically going to be toast. Okay, so we've got the Drillbur coming in here. I just went for Swift because that's my stab there. I'm going to outspeed that one, and that's just going to absolutely demolish it there. The good thing about Swift is it's stab, it never misses, and it's actually very, very powerful on special move on this set. I quite like running special Cincino instead of the normal skill link one you see all the time. Okay, so basically we've lost 4 Pokemon on both sides of the field. It's a very even battle. Bringing in Phoenix now. This was an Assault Vest Luxray. I had a Spark on this. I had Fire Fang, Ice Fang, and Night Slash. Now, going for the Spark here, mainly to get to some stab and trying to get the Power Hacks off. However, it's another trapping Pokemon. We have a Magma here. Now, Magma can be very offensive. However, it's actually very bulky in special defense. I actually run a little bit of a similar set to this one. I run a Sleep Talk Lava Plume set, which works pretty nicely too. Okay, so it's going to have a Protect. It's going to be a Fire Spin Protect set. I had Guts on this set, obviously, so I was waiting. Maybe it got status. I didn't have Intimidate, so I was thinking they're probably not going to use, if they do have Toxic on me, because that would be bad for them. All right, so they're going to use Confuse right on me, so I'm confused now, and I'm trapped in, which is bad. So I'm going to get hit by the Fire Spin there again. So I guess the Luminian and Magma were kind of like the core of their team, I'd say. Just looking at their other members, which is cool. Okay, so it's basically I can't do anything here. I'm just getting Protect stalled by the Magma, and I'm trapped in, so I can't swap out. So it's just like before, I wasn't able to swap out just when I was using the Cincino against the Luminium. Okay, so hoping I can get through the confusion, and I don't. I hit myself in confusion. That would have been nice to get another hit off there, but that's all good. All right, so Magma is finally going to go for the Toxic, knowing that I'm definitely going to die the next turn, so it's going to be able to, take me out before I'm able to get an attack off, boosted Guts, Spark off. And, yeah, I can't do anything here. I know the Magma's going to just protect the next turn. I can't swap out, so I'm just basically going to have to rely on my last Pokemon to get me back into this game. I just need a drink. Okay, so we have the famous physical Alakazam here. That was my last team member on this team. Now, I had a very interesting set on it, and it was very high risk, high reward. It was so risky. Probably the couple of battles that I'm showing when it shined its best. All the other times, man, it was really bad. Like, I just got absolutely wrecked. Okay, so I'm using the Mega Alakazam. Enjoy it while you can. But, however, it's not very overpowered at all. If anything, it's an absolute gimmick. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to trace the Vital Spirit there. Okay, so I've got the Swagger on this. So the idea is to Swagger the opponent, raise their attack. I've got Psych Up on this, so I'm going to copy their attack boost, because there's no way for me to boost my attack at all. And with Alakazam max attack, it's you're really looking at bottom of the battle stats there. Okay, so it's going to hurt itself in Confusion. That's really good. Going for the Psych Up now, so I've copied the stats there, so I've got +2 in attack there, which is nice. Magma's going to hit itself Confusion again, so that was very, very lucky there. I was able to just not get any hits taken at all. I'm going to go for the Psycho Cut here, which was my main stab. The other move I had on it was Knock Off too, so I thought that would be the best type of coverage for the set. Okay, so everything's going really nicely now. The last Pokemon is the Tropius. I was really happy to see Tropius. It's nice to see him. Okay, so going for the knockoff there, in case it's got any berries or anything like that. It had Focus Sash. Then I see why straight afterwards it's going to go for the Dragon Dance here. So I have to go for Psycho Cut here. Tropius has nice base defense naturally, so here I went for Psycho Cut and just hoping it would actually take it out. Okay, so going for Psycho Cut. There is a chance for a crit. It just hangs on there. It's going to go for the Leaf Blade on my Mega Alakazam. I couldn't even say that. I just lived that one, which is nice. And I'm going to finish it off with the knockoff. That was the first battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. There were some very cool sets on both sides there. Let's get straight into the second battle here. So we have this one, let me just see. This was against Blazing Lava on my chat. Okay, so we have a Mesprit lead here. Now this battle, how battles they sort of go one way, and then the tide changes of the battle. Yeah, this is one of them. Anyways, this was quite a funny start. So we have the Mesprit lead. I'm going for the Carmine right off the bat here on my Cincino lead. Now, the Mesprit is going to go for the Stealth Rock here, so it's going to set up the rocks, which was a little bit of a trouble. My team there was annoying, but there wasn't much I could really do about it. Okay, so I'm setting up the second Carmine here, so I'm like, this is really cool. I haven't had too many chances to set up so many Carmines on Cincino, and then I was going to go for Swift after this. However, the Mesprit is going to set up the light screen, so basically all my Carmine boosts in special attack have been negated there. And I'm sure it has something like Light Clay to extend the duration of Light Screen too. Okay, so I thought, bugger it, let's go for another one. Let's see what it's going to do, because it's probably going to have I was thinking it'd have like Psyshock, and it wouldn't really do too much to me, or it'd go for U-turn. Then I get confused by Water Pulse. I'm like, what the hell? So it's a very, very trolly set. So I had Stealth Rock, it had Light Screen, it had Water Pulse. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Must have like U-turn or Psyshock or something. Anyways, so I'm going to set up the Carmine again. Oh, I was thinking it probably had to Reflect, since it used a Light Screen earlier on. So the set was Light Screen, Reflect, Stealth Rock, and Water Pulse. What the fuck? But of course, it confused me on the first turn. Anyway, so I'm just standing here sending out Calm Minds. I'm like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to go for the sweep. Okay, so even though the Light Scream is up, I was confident I could hit this thing really, really hard. Okay, so Mesperit's going to continue to go for the Water Pulse here. Not that it's doing too much for me. So I thought, well, I may as well just keep going for it because Cincina is very fast. This was a timid set with Technician, max special attack, and max speed. Just bump the rest in health or wherever you need it there. It's not too important. Okay, so Mesperit's continuing water pulsing my health there. It's not really going down by much. So finally, I'm going to go for the attack here. Swift does a lot of damage. That Light Screen makes such a big difference there. The Mesperit's going to continue going for the Water Pulse. Not that there's lots of things that really want to swap into Cincina, even with the Light Screen up. Okay, so Mesperit swaps out. Aerodactyl comes in here. Now, I easily could have gone for a Shockwave there, so that was quite a risky swap in there by them. But I did go for the Swift here. Now, that Light Screen definitely saves Aerodactyl. That does huge amounts of damage to it, which is good. Now, the problem on this team, I knew Aerodactyl would be a massive problem against my whole team because it was just so well matched them. It outsped them all. It had super effective moves against them all. That sort of thing. So I was really in the team preview. I was like, crap, I don't know how I'm going to go in this battle. Anyway, so swapping in Gumshoes here. I'm going to go for the Scary Face here. So I've got on this set. I said I had 3 physical moves. I also have Scary Face as my other moves. So the idea is to use Scary Face, drop their speed, get the tank the hit, get the Toxic Orb up, then go for the Facade on the faster Pokemon. Okay, so I've got my Facade up there. However, Aerodactyl is going to swap out, probably guessing what I'm going to do, and Milotic is going to swap in here. It's a shiny one. Okay, so I went for Facade here. I just like, bugger it. That's my best move I can go for. It does a crap load of damage there to Milotic. And I'm going to go down to the Toxic Orb here. So that's Gumshoe down there. And the Reflect wears off there. So that Milotic got saved by the Reflect. Like a lot of their Pokemon were getting saved by the screens there. I was hitting very, very hard there. Okay, so swapping Luxray in. I've got Spark on this set. I just wanted to finish this thing off because before I got like Recover or anything really annoying like that off. And I take out the Milotic. So that was good. That was a really annoying Pokemon, a bulky Pokemon to get rid of. Okay, so once again, this Aerodactyl, I've got nothing really to swap into this. It's such a heavy counter to my team. So I thought, well, it could go for Earthquake here, so I'm going to take a big risk and go into Dutrix here, considering I'm Flying type and I'm Scarfed. I'm just going to hope I can outspeed it afterwards. However, the Aerodactyl is going to go for the Rock Slide, and that's going to take out my Dutrix there. So, rip, there's not much I can do there. And it was a critical. I think I got critted in my first battle on Dutrix too. Okay, so bringing in Luxray here. I take a little bit more Stealth Rock damage. Luxray is fairly bulky in its defenses. So I was like, I might be able to live this one really, really badly. However, it's going to be able to take me out with the Rock Slide there. I was getting the feeling that it could be banded as well. Okay, so this battle, I was getting absolutely creamed by the Aerodactyl. It obviously countered my team very, very hard. So I had to just rely on this. This is really my last hope to get back into the game. Okay, so Mega Evolving there. I've got all the spoons in the world now. So now, my first thing here was to go for the Swagger so I could get the Confusion, and hoping the Aerodactyl wouldn't take itself out so I could psych up those stats and start to get back into this game. Okay, so I'm swaggering the Aerodactyl there, which is good. Now, since I had a Nerf, obviously this set is definitely nowhere near guaranteed getting this off. It's actually very tricky because it doesn't work most of the time. It just lives with like the tiniest little slither of health. I was like, bugger it. I'm just going to go for it. So I psyched up the stat changes there. So I got the +2 in attack. And Aerodactyl hits itself twice in Confusion. That was so lucky there. I'm the first to admit that. So my Mega Alakazam got off scot-free and got a +2 attack. So I'm back into the game. All right, so this is quite funny. They're bringing their Abra. So I just went for the knockoff here on the Abra. I wasn't sure if it had Focus Sash. I was a little bit worried about that. But it didn't. I'm going to take that one out. And it turns out that it had the Choice Specs instead there. We're doing a mixed tier battle here. Right, so Mesperit's going to come in here. Even with the +2 attack and Mesperit's bulk, I was quite confident I could take it out. So just went for knockoff again. And that's going to be enough to take out the Mesperit too. So that's sweet. I'd say that would have been going for... as you can see, the Light Clay there. I'd say I probably would have thrown the Reflect up. Anyway, so the Lurantis comes out here. Now, I almost went for Swagger there. I thought, nah, bugger it. Let's get some damage off on this thing. That's fairly good damage. Now, Lurantis is going to go for the Leech Life on my Mega Alakazam. I just tanked that one on 12 health there. So, I was thinking, there's a good chance this thing is obviously running Contrary. And as you know, with Contrary, any boost, negative boost becomes positive. And any positive will become negative. So it actually drops his attack there with the Swagger, which is really cool. Okay, so unfortunately for me, it's going to be able to get through. It's not going to be able to get through that, and I'm going to be able to hit it the next turn. However, I knew that I wasn't in range to actually take it out the next turn, so there was a chance Confusion would take it out. It just lives like on... I think that was like the second time the opponent lived on 1 health, and I'm going to get taken out there by the Leech Life. But Alakazam, Mega Alakazam had a very good run there, and definitely, without a shred of a doubt, got me back into this game. Okay, so I've got one more Pokemon left. As you know, it's the Coil Servine set. So this is a Rest Sleep Talk set. I've got Coil on this and Leaf Blade there. I've got max health, max special defense with Everlight. It's very, very, very bulky there, and it's you just need to bring it in, obviously, at the right time here. Obviously, I had no choice, and I didn't really have much use for it till the end of the battle. Okay, so I've got that Coil up, so I'm obviously going to take Leech Life a lot better. Plus, obviously, that Swagger is up already, so the Lurantis attack is basically crap. It can't do anything to me. So I'm going to take this opportunity to set as many calls up as I can here. Now, the last Pokemon I was actually worried about too was quite a good counter to my Servine. Alright, so now I'm going to get Poison Jabbed here. I actually went for Rest this turn. I just tanked that one there. It was the critical hit. That's the thing about, bulky Coil users or Curse users. There's always a chance of me getting critted. And as you'll know during that Furret video, I won't give it away too much, but I know a lot of you have already seen that. Yeah, the salt was real with that. Anyway, so it's going to continue going for the Poison Jab there. As you can see, the massive difference between a crit and a non-crit there. Okay, so going for the Sleep Talk here. I was hoping I could get maybe a couple more calls up, or maybe at least one. However, I'm going to get to choose the Leaf Blade, which is fine. That's going to be enough to take out the Lurantis there. So, their last Pokemon was a Fire type. That's why I was worried about it. However, it was Monferno, so I know Monferno always runs physical sets, like Fire Punch and stuff like that. That's what I was mainly worried about. However, I did have a couple of calls up, so I was very, very tanky there. Okay, so going for the Sleep Talk again. I basically just needed to go for the Leaf Blade. I wasn't sure if it had Everlight on it, but I was thinking it would be about a 3-hit KO there if it did, and a 1 to 2-hit KO if it didn't have Everlight. Okay, so I'm going to get another call there, which is going to boost my attack. So I've got lots of calls up there. There's no point in me actually going for Rest Sleep Talk again. Or Rest again. I'm just going to go straight for the Leaf Blade, or try and get the Sleep Talk Leaf Blade after my last recovery there, and try and take out the Monferno. So basically, the MVP in this was, just looking back at the battle there, I was way down there. The Mega Alakazam did actually get me back into it. Not really because it was a Mega, it just was able to get off that attack and get right back into it. Okay, so I get Sleep Talk Rest. I bet you never saw that one coming here. The only thing I was really worried about here was the Monferno actually critting me, because that would one-shot me for sure there. And here I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk again, the second one before I woke up. And I was definitely going to go for Leaf Blade the next turn. I get the Coil again here, so I'm thinking, well, I've got enough calls up. I need to start attacking this thing. It's not doing anything to me. Basically, the only thing now is I'm delaying it, and I may get critted. That's the bad thing about this. Okay, so going for another Fire Punch on me there. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go straight for Leaf Blade there, and that's going to be like heaps to take out the Monferno. And that is game. I hope you guys enjoyed both battles. No objections at all. Peace.
Do do do.